What is happening, everyone? I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is doing good. I am back this week sharing 3 brunch style recipes. I have been sharing my love for frittata over on my Instagram. I'm always sharing on my stories all the different varieties of frittatas that I put together. It's just kind of like my go-to brunch type of meal, and I get so many requests for recipes, so I'm going to be sharing one that I've been loving. This week it is a sun-dried tomato, cabbage stuffed, onion stuffed frittata. It is absolutely delicious. Spring hasn't quite sprung just yet, but it feels like we are getting closer to the seasons changing. Wild garlic is back in season. Obviously you can find it growing wild. If you live in a city like me, maybe check out your local farmer's market. I'm going to be sharing a wild garlic and pea dip. This dip has zest, it has depth, it has everything that I would want to spread on a good piece of sourdough. Yes please. In my opinion, brunch wouldn't be brunch without a pancake option. Got to throw a pancake option in there. So I'm going to be sharing just the most delicious golden fluffy pancakes that I know you're going to love. This video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare. You guys know how I feel about this wonderful online learning community. It offers classes from design to business to photography. If you're just wanting to tap into your creativity and you need that extra help, you need that boost, and you want to learn something new, then Skillshare is the place to be. So I did this class that really stood out for me. So it's called YouTube Success, Build an Authentic Channel That's Worth the Follow by the incredible content creator Sorrel and more. When I tell you guys, this was hands down one of the best Skillshare classes that I have done to date. Whether you are a YouTube beginner or you are like me and you've been doing it for a little while, I feel like Sorrel really offered practical advice for me personally and how I can continue to create authentic content without compromising my core values and the love of my craft. So Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of premium membership. It costs you absolutely nothing if you sign up today. Click the link in the description box, start tapping into your creativity, start something new, something you've always wanted to do. There is no time like the present. After the trial, membership is around $10 a month. So let's jump into these recipes. Let me know which recipe you'll be trying out first. Leave me a comment, like the video, and make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Let's jump into the first recipe. Let's head to the kitchen. Let's go. So it's only right to start with this frittata recipe. It's definitely the most frequently cooked brunch. This one is stuffed with sun-dried tomatoes, feta, we've got mushrooms, we're going to be using some onions and some cabbage, but honestly you can make it your own. Use whatever vegetables you have on deck. Like I always say, put your own stamp on it. So for this specific frittata recipe, I used some mushrooms. So I had a mix of great oyster mushrooms and I had some chestnut mushrooms. I adore sun-dried tomatoes, so I just thought it would be a really colourful, different texture type of addition for this frittata. So I love scattering fresh herbs over most of my meals. So we've got some fresh parsley. We're also going to be using some dried oregano. We've got some onions, which we're going to slowly cook down with the cabbage. We're going to need some good quality eggs because we want a good tasting frittata. So you're going to need some good eggs for that. And of course, we're going to be using some sea salt, some black pepper, and I also use a splash of tamari. So begin by peeling and chopping up your onion, followed on by the cabbage. So give the cabbage a really good wash once you have chopped it. So slice your mushrooms any way you wish to. This is how I sliced mine, just in mushroom slices like this. So for this recipe, ideally you want a pan that you can put in the oven, so that's why this cast iron pan is ideal. If you don't have a cast iron pan and you can only cook on the hob, that's fine. I just prefer to kind of half cook it on the hob and then place it in the oven. So place in a little bit of oil of choice and then throw in the onions, just stirring, mixing everything up. Next, throw in the cabbage, cooking everything down. Place in some black pepper, place in the oregano, some sea salt, and just continue mixing everything down till the onions have a slight kind of caramelized golden tint to them. So throw in your sliced mushrooms. Mushrooms and tamari, they're like this perfect union, so I have to use the two together. They just go well together. If you want to throw a splash of tamari in, go ahead. If you don't, leave it out. It will still work. It's fine. So continue cooking everything down. Put in a little bit more black pepper, give it a taste, see if you need to adjust the seasoning a little bit, and then go ahead and grab your sun-dried tomatoes. I chose to chop mine up. So crack your eggs into a bowl and give them a good whisk. You then want to throw the eggs into the pan. Now you want to lower the heat because you don't want to scorch the bottom, but we want to slightly cook this frittata for about 3 to 4 minutes. before placing it into a preheated oven of 180 degrees Celsius. Place the frittata in the oven for around 15 minutes or so. Just kind of judge it, make sure it's cooked properly. So once the frittata is cooked and looking something like this, you can eat it as it is. It will be so delicious as it is, but I love to crumble over a little bit of feta when I have some. So that's what I did because I had some, and I scattered over a little bit of fresh parsley, some more black pepper, a little drizzle of good olive oil. And yeah, this is I haven't got a name for it. It's just one of my frittata recipes that I love. Let's call it a sun-dried tomato and feta frittata. So I plated the frittata with a little bit of kimchi. The flavor combinations on this plate were literally mind-blowing. I sliced up a little bit of avocado, and yeah, this is my go-to brunch. So the next recipe is this wild garlic and pea dip. When I tell you, this was so good. The first bite that I had, I was like, I could literally eat a whole bowl of it. Combination of the zestiness with the garlic, and then the creaminess from the yogurt, and then the sweetness of the peas, it just blends so beautifully together. This vibrant green, punchy, flavorful dip will make you feel like you were in spring. I'm so ready for spring, so ready. So for this dip, we are going to need some garden peas, good old garden peas that you find in the frozen section. We're going to be needing some lemon, both the zest and the juice, some gorgeous wild garlic, and some parsley. If you don't find the wild garlic, look, make do with what you have. Use a normal clove of garlic. Green from the peas and the parsley will still give it a vibrant green color. It will still feel like spring. We're going to need a little bit of yogurt. My yogurt of choice, because I had it available in my fridge, was coconut yogurt, extra virgin olive oil, some sea salt, and some black pepper. So I began by chopping up the wild garlic and the parsley. So really simple. I grabbed my food processor. I prefer to use the food processor because it keeps this dip chunky, and I just like a bit of consistency. That's just my preference. So I placed in the garden peas, followed on by the yogurt, swirled in that olive oil, gave it some good black pepper, good pinch of sea salt, placed in the chopped wild garlic and parsley, squeezed over some lemon juice. I also grated in some zest. I just didn't get it on camera. So blitz everything in the food processor until you reach this kind of consistency. Like I said, it's preference. This is what I like. You do what you like. So I put my eggs to boil. I kind of felt like a soft-boiled egg, and my ideal soft-boiled egg, I think it's 6 minutes and 45 seconds, around that mark. So I put my egg to boil, and then I cooked down some king oyster mushrooms. So yeah, I cooked them down with a splash of tamari, obviously, some black pepper, I think a little bit of dried thyme. So I placed that wild garlic and pea dip on a good piece of sourdough, 2 pieces of sourdough, and I threw over the mushrooms, placed on the soft-boiled eggs. Another gorgeous, tasty, delicious idea that you can use, and it's even more exciting because it has wild garlic in it, and I go crazy for wild garlic. So we're gonna finish the video with these incredible, unbelievable stack of pancakes. We're gonna stack them high, top them with our favorite toppings. It's not an everyday thing, but I do love a good pancake every now and then. So the ingredients that we're gonna use for these pancakes include some spelt flour. If you would prefer a gluten-free option, then yep, use a gluten-free option. We're gonna need some milk of choice. I've got some almond milk. I've got a little bit of honey as a sweetener. We're gonna need some cinnamon. I used an egg. For a vegan option, you could use some chia seeds. I'll put the measurements in the description box along with the recipes. We're gonna need a ripe banana, some baking soda, bicarbonate of soda, and a pinch of sea salt. So begin by mashing your banana until it is properly mashed, looking something like this, and then grab your large bowl. So we're gonna place the dry ingredients in first. So that includes the flour, bicarbonate soda, baking powder, some cinnamon powder, and a pinch of sea salt. So pour in your milk of choice, followed on by the egg, and then we're simply just gonna whisk everything until it is smooth. So I forgot to put in the sweetener. This is just optional. I just put a little bit of honey in. So I heated my pan on a medium heat, placing in a little bit of coconut oil, and then I cooked the pancakes. One by one, I placed them in using this ladle, and yeah, just created the shape and size that I wanted. I cooked them for about 1.5 minutes on each side until they were perfectly golden, looking something like this. So I don't play when it comes to topping my pancakes. So I cooked down some blueberries. They were frozen blueberries. I cooked them down, and I placed on top some coconut yogurt, followed by the blueberries, which are just gonna fall so dramatically on the plate. And then I roasted some hazelnuts, which I just can't get enough of, swirled over a little bit more honey, and then devoured this stack of pancakes while sharing it. Actually, I shared this stack. So there we have it, 3 brunch ideas. Some I eat more regularly than others, but I enjoy all 3. They're all 3 gorgeous recipes that you can go away, get inspired, adapt them, change them, work them your own way. If you do try them out, if you get inspiration from this video, let me know how it goes in the comments section below. Find me over on Instagram at Tish Wonders. If you take a picture, tag me over on there. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.